Hey, all you people. I see y'all piled up out there at the doors. They're officially swinging open. So I am back on Monday, November 26, 2018. And this is the official start of my second new year. Hopefully, this year goes through and everything uh, happens as planned, and I'm back in action. So we'll update you on all of that as we go along. I imagine the first couple of folks in here will be asking questions and getting the full story. So I'll save it. Hey, Bob Bishop, it went pretty well. First question. See, told you. Um, it actually went pretty well. Everybody, the medical teams included, are optimistic, highly optimistic, rather than guardedly optimistic as we were back in December, and I think rightfully so. Um, we played the we we played the safe game first, and it didn't work as hoped, and so now we went full scale, put the whole new hip joint and all that, the socket, everything is brand new titanium and composites, and assuming I don't do anything stupid like uh, wham down on it with too much weight and crush the crush the fittings, we'll be in good shape. So I'm doing the best I can to make it happen, to make it happen the way it's supposed to. And hey, David Phelps, inquiring another inquiring mind wanting to know. And see, we got 8 viewers out there on YouTube, 9 viewers out on YouTube. So um, I'll I'll talk more about it when I start getting my video viewers too. Some of you have been checking in on me, sending me text messages and well wishes, and I appreciate all of that. That means a lot. Glad to know y'all think about me when I'm not here. And I see y'all managed to have some sort of show while I was gone. I don't know. I know there was in the records there was something from Wednesday and also from Friday, and so I'm not I'm not sure exactly what y'all did while I was out. Minnesota Mike, all right, good to see you too, man. And so I'll find out what all went on. I know I clicked through the reruns and saw Sparky doing one, and so at least one of the nights he held it together while I was away, and but I'm glad to be back now. Not completely rested. It was pretty tiring experience actually, but being that everything went well, it's I am relieved and not preoccupied with worried about too much different things. So just need to kind of catch my breath. Um, it was by far the longest operation I've ever had. I think we went in about 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. It would be last Wednesday, and and I think they finally uh, cut the last suture um, at about 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon. So it took a darn good while. Oh, I see Steve's waiting. That's right. I got my automatic pirate controls on tonight, so I'm going to have to manually let y'all in. Hope you hadn't been sitting out there too long, Steve. I just clicked the button to let you in. Let me click it again. For some reason, sometimes it takes a few clicks. Okay, we'll move over to Steve Hines Plan 2, Plan B, and click. Boom. That should let you in. Let's see. Oh, come on. Click the button and it turns off. Okay, that should let you in now. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Rusty.
How are you
I was
tonight?
playing around on YouTube trying to figure out how to get that up so I could see the messages, but I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Well,
I could
so
watch
what,
the video.
did
I
you
just
have
couldn't.
that page open in another tab right now?
I think,
What
yeah, I
kind of
do.
computer are you on?
What kind?
Yeah.
PC.
Okay.
Um,
How many tabs of Chrome have you got open? Have you got uh, um if you
two.
got one open with the well, it's I am relieved that, yeah, there it is. And not preoccupied that and click stop so it doesn't double use your bandwidth. And look over to the right. Do you see a chat box?
No.
You don't? Okay, hang on just a second. Let me tell me if this makes the chat box appear. Um,
The thing is that I don't know if I mute you on Stunthanger here, and then maybe I can. Now I can hear you, or
no, YouTube and Stunthanger are two entirely unrelated entities. You just go to that page for the text chat box. I'm trying to figure out why you're not seeing it. But meanwhile, while you're on that page, you don't want to be soaking your bandwidth by using that and the Google Hangout window. So you mute and and stop the feed on YouTube over there, but the chat box doesn't stop working. But let's see. So you don't see anything that says top chat or chat box or say something or anything.
no? The
It's
only thing.
got it's got Bob Bishop, Terry Forbes, Minnesota Mike, Jack Snavely, David Phelps posted in it.
No, I got watch later and share is the only thing that is on there.
Did you click? Have you clicked the link in the at the bench thread to go to the YouTube watch page? You know, I put
The link tonight live feed is in Google Hangouts. That's on this, but I don't see anything else to click on. I just clicked
what
on the.
about? Wait a minute. Let me go over to Stunt Hanger. What about the? Okay, it says the link to tonight's feed is HTTPS blah blah blah. Okay, and then it says your camera and mic may be disabled. Okay, do you see a video under that?
Yeah, I'm
Go to the
watching. I'm
video.
watching the video right now.
Okay, well, click the where it says YouTube at the bottom right of the video.
Okay.
Click that YouTube logo, and it'll be on the page that opens after that.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, and then completely close that stunt hanger window.
How do I do
And
that?
okay, and when the new YouTube page is open, it takes a minute for the chat box to pop up.
Yeah, I
But
got the chat box. I see Gerald just put something up.
okay,
Back.
now hit the stop button if it's playing. Hit the stop button. You don't want it using your bandwidth, and then hit the mute button so it doesn't make any noise and give you feedback. And
Okay.
then okay, um, and now do you see the chat box
Yep.
to to the right of the video?
Yep.
All right, you see the three dots up at the top right of the video box?
Yep.
Click those and you see where it says pop out chat.
Yep.
Okay, click on pop out chat, and then you can minimize everything else and reshape that chat box just to fit in a little column. I make about a 2.5 inch column the entire length of the screen and put it to the left of our video window. So I'm watching YouTube feed as well as watching the live Stunthangar feed. And now you should have everything I've got going on here.
Okay, I just got to figure out how to move it.
Just like you move any other window. Or if you lose it, hover over the Chrome icon down on the taskbar and you'll see it, and just click on it, click it back up.
Oh, I see it right there. Oh shit.
Yeah, and you get the
Okay.
hang of it. You can put it where you want it, shape it like you want it, and now I'm gonna mute everything I'm not using, just so that yeah, I've minimized everything else except for the video Hangouts window and the stunt box. And so we've got Gerald in there. Yeah, let's see who else. So Sparky's posted in there. No, wait a minute. I'm called Stunthanger.
Hey, David. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I'm finally getting to pop up now. That little window. So.
Okay.
Phelps. I see Gerald won $8 or something. I don't know what that means.
Oh no, that's a country. That's where he clicked the super chat button and donated $8 New Zealand.
Okay.
That's $10 American or something like that, probably. And
cool.
That's the super chat button, the $sign at the bottom of the box. That's how you donate.
Okay, push that chair back. We want to see you dance.
I'll have to be dancing on one leg. No, I'm getting up slow. I'm actually supposed to hold on to the walker and step forward with my bad leg, and then use my arms to take all the pressure off of my bad leg and hop forward with it, so that no pressure is applied to it. And I gotta do that zero pressure business for 2 weeks or so before I can quit. I got to double check on that number too, but I got an appointment in 2 weeks to talk to the doc. But there's marrow and stuff in there where that conical fitting fits together that they bored out to receive it, and you don't want to be smashing that stuff up because it does not regain its shape, and every time you deform it, it removes a little bit of the grip that will never come back. So you can really fuck it up by putting too much pressure on it too soon.
I'll tell Minnesota Mike that this is a smoking chat. He has to smoke when he's watching us on YouTube.
Oh, that's right, Mike. You can't come in here if you're not smoking. Gerald smokes, huh? He steps away for a minute and comes back.
Well, he just got done with a cigarette. That's why he got on.
Yeah.
Oh, hi Steve. Hi Rusty. Good to see you back in the chair.
Yeah, back in the chair. A little worn and tired for the effort, but hopefully I believe it was all going to be worth it. And so hope y'all have heard some of what I've been saying about what I'm doing and what went on. But it turned out to be a long surgery. I was in there for hours and hours. And of course, I had no sense of time. I had to ask, but there was some weird stuff going on. I think I kept waking up while the procedure was going on and trying to talk to him, but I couldn't. It was like being in a science fiction movie with white coated aliens walking all around doing stuff to you with tools and machines and talking in some foreign language.
You
And
might have went to heaven there for a minute, Rusty, and just didn't realize it.
could be, could be. But I think they realized that the spinal part of the anesthesia was not doing its job correctly, and I was coming back to life a little bit while I wasn't supposed to be, and that was freaky as hell. It was like being on a bad acid trip. I told him that. I asked him if I have seen a couple of the surgical team, and I asked him if I said that to him, but nobody acknowledges it, having heard a question like me asking if it, or telling them that this all seemed like a bad acid trip.
Well, as long as you didn't feel the operation.
It was weird. But anyway, I think we did the right thing. You know, a year ago, we did the safe thing, which you would do to somebody with my underlying conditions. And it didn't hold as hoped, but I think their optimism was clearly guarded at the time. But this time, they did everything they can do, which is the full replacement, and there's no reason it shouldn't work, assuming I miss and skip all the pitfalls um, like infections and things like that. And
David Phelps said it probably came out as the.
maybe so. That's what I'm hoping. You know, making no sense. I can't imagine me making any sense during that. Because you know, usually, I don't know how many of you have been in surgery, but the routine is usually they give you a happy shot and tell you to start talking back, counting backwards or something like that. Put a mask over you and tell you to breathe, and then you gradually just fade out, and the next thing you know, you're waking up. But it's like I never faded out. It just all of a sudden got weird. I couldn't even identify different parts of my body. I felt and all kinds of really weird stuff, man. I tell you what, it was scary. But when I woke up, Holly was there, and I looked around. I didn't know where the hell I was. I just assumed that it had all been a horrible failure, and that they had sent me off somewhere to wake up. And I asked Holly, I said, am I ever going to get my hip replacement? And she said, sweetie, they've replaced your hip. They're finished. And I'm like, oh, really? And she said, yeah, it went marvelously. I just talked with your doctor, and everything went great. And so I was really relieved to hear that. And then later on, it appears to be the truth, unless I'm really on another world and they're lying to me. And
Minnesota Mike says you met Cheech and Chong.
no kidding. I think I hung out with Cheech and Chong for a while.
Well, it is an unusual experience, I know, from my own surgery. It's just the waking up and coming to this new reality. I think that's what I found the hardest, that you're in a very different place to when they put you to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not even sure of, bearings. You've got no bearings. But yeah, I've done this enough times to where I was surprised that I was surprised with anything, really, to be quite honest. Because this I was expecting it to just be old hat, things I'd done 20 something times before, but this one was different enough for me to call it a whole new medical adventure.
Yeah, what I think they had to go down and scope my esophagus and stomach, and they expanded that diaphragm or that valve or whatever and stuff like that in me. But I remember asking my mom, I said, when did I wake up? And she was really mad. And she says, you're awake when they brought you in here. And I'm thinking, wow, okay. You know, I didn't know asking a question would make you mad. And she goes, you realize you asked me that like 30 times.
Right.
But I don't remember asking her, but she said for like 30 minutes. She said every couple minutes I'd open my eyes and look at her. When did I wake up?
Getting mad at somebody in that situation's not nice.
She just was tired of me doing it over and over and over and over, I guess.
Yeah,
She asked the nurse, what's wrong with him?
Yeah. Flashbacks from the birthing room. What's wrong with that baby?
Yeah. I suppose it's interesting. Maybe different drugs, different experience, different procedures mean it's a different experience this time around.
Yeah.
But I know they don't like to really knock you out too much, and that might be one of the factors.
No more than they have to. And
Yeah.
for the spinal, I don't know what they were using. It was injectable, of course, but for the sleep from here on up, you know, from the hip down, it was that injection, but from here up, it was propofol, the Michael Jackson stuff, and and I think I'm pretty used to that. That's what just makes you sleep, but you can probably still feel and wake up. You're just so asleep that you don't notice anything bad going on.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose they like to use local anaesthetics where they can to minimise damage or trauma. But when I've been in there, or when my wife's gone in to have her different cesareans when things went wrong, they just gave her a total anaesthetic, and then you sort of just meet them at the other side. It was a different sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But I sort of I hadn't been to a dentist for years, and I had to go. I had an expensive muesli bar and crunched up one of my teeth and swallowed it, and I had to go in today, and they anaesthetised my gum. You know, and then I didn't really think about it, and I started munching up a sandwich, and then I started chewing up all the inside of my gums. That's one of those things. If you don't know, you don't do any better. Oh, hi, Max.
I just wanted to remind you something on the phone. I was speaking to Carrie and Max.
Yeah. Just say hello to Rusty and Steve.
Hi.
Hey, man.
Oh, hey. How you doing tonight?
You guys get any flying in Saturday or the weekend?
No, not on the weekend. Yeah, we were unlucky. I got sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the takeaways we ordered last night, it's terrible.
Yeah, I had an upset tummy, so we didn't get to fly. But yeah, we had bad weather as well. So hopefully we'll make it up one day during the week after school. When the kids get home, we can whip out some models. Yeah, we've got our big stunt contest this weekend, and I had to some major work with my model that I was intending to use, so I want to really retest it. I had a backplate come apart, one of those LA46 backplates, where the backplate seems to have gone soft. That plastic had compressed up and the screws had come loose. And then next thing, the whole needle valve assembly that was attached to the backplate started moving around, and it took part of the backplate off when it pulled out.
Is it like the plastic material had gotten rotten or something?
Yeah, it felt like it had gone soft. It was an old motor now, but when you looked at it, all the screws had come loose, and the area where the screws had recessed in, it had actually it had compressed up. It had, like a gasket material, had compressed up, and so all the screws were loose, and then all hell broke loose when they started falling out. So
you got an old FP motor.
Oh, I found an old Magnum 44, and the backplate fits, but it's got a big cutout for it because it's got a longer stroke. So I've put that in. I'll just test it out. So the crankcase volume is going to be greater. So it probably will affect my run, but it's just a matter of how much. I've ordered another backplate off the internet, but it'll take too long to get it here to New Zealand. So I'll try this Magnum 44 one hopefully it'll all be okay, and I can fly it in the contest on Saturday.
Yeah, because you know what, a FP40 will fit right on there too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you know, we'll go to swap meets and FP40s that are shot and stuff like that you can buy for $2 in a bin or whatever. We'll buy them for the backplate.
yeah, yeah. I noticed Jamie posted on oh, I'm not sure. It was on Stunthangar. Yeah, somebody's actually making another run of backplates. I can't remember the name of the chap, but he put a link to it. It's on one of the different Facebook pages, and it's like $12 for a new metal backplate. So
Yeah.
I've got the contact. I'll try and order some new backplates, because obviously it just deteriorated. The metal got soft, and I mean, the plastic got soft. I've had the actual plastic calves where they've got the inlet. They go brittle. They actually go soft, and you realise they break off. They go chalky, sort of. And the type of plastic OS is used must not be that durable.
Yeah, we were going to try to make up 100 backplates because we found out, well, a buddy of mine, Dick, found out that the Thunder Tiger 36,
yeah,
you had to take off so many thousandths off of it and it would fit right in. The rest, everything else was perfect except a little bit bigger, just a few thousandths diameter.
yeah.
And we made up a dozen of them and they went really fast. And then we ordered the back plates and they said they'd be here. Then next thing you know, Thunder Tiger went out of business. And we never got the regular back plates, but he had made up a jig for his lathe and he could do them in just a few seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Because I read somebody posted as well that the GP42 Thunder Tiger GP42 backplate fits in, but it's 60 thou too big, and that's where they just have to skim it.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. Yeah, 42, 30. I guess it was all the same basic backplate, but yeah, we couldn't get them. Otherwise, we were going to have 100 of them. Figured that they'd go fairly quick.
Yeah,
with all of them out there.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's less of an issue now that so many people have gone electric. Yeah, it'll just be the odd ones that really just enjoy using glow motors. And I suppose there's quite a few of us that fall into that camp. I don't mind using electric, but I just like the noise, the smell, the feel, and the fit of a glow engine, or a diesel for that matter, or a four stroke.
I always considered it a point of pride that I could tune an engine to follow the requirements of the atmosphere, the relative humidity, and the altitude, that sort of thing. That was, to me, that was supposed to be part of the sport. And
yeah, it is a challenge.
So they've taken that away from us.
Yeah. Well, with control line combat, a lot of them have still got the rule that you have to hand start your engine, and that's quite neat in its own way. You think, well, it takes a certain skill to competitively start your engine in the least possible time, be able to restart it when it's hot.
Especially rather than high performance engines.
Yeah, it really does take a knack, and that's sort of like the Le Mans start, where they've got to race to their plane and get the thing started, no electric starts. And the F2D combats like that, it's incredible just to watch how people can start it, hold the model between their legs, and flick away and release the pressure for their engine. That they can get it sorted so quickly. And yet, when you're a newcomer to it, it's so hard to start your engine. Yet you see these guys able to do it so quickly. It really is an acquired skill.
Yeah, you get two guys used to working together. I mean, I think bladder is the easiest way with combat, because it's like, okay, ready, and the guy holding usually I hold the tube, and it's like I squirt, I have it tipped so I can see it. I squirt it, see fuel coming out, tip it back the other way, bang. Once it starts, then I'll I'll sit there and gradually let loose of the tube, and or if I got to prime it again, but usually one or two flips and that thing is going and gone. We'll already have the needle set, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun with a diesel as well, because there's that extra adjustment, that compression screw, and making sure you you've got a good mix of fuel to get the best out of your engine. It's a couple more extra elements in there that makes it challenging. It makes it quite a lot of fun. But have you run any diesel, Steve?
A little bit, but a friend of mine from England, he's a big diesel guy, so I ended up taking the one I had over there, and he got it running really good. But I had it all kitty wampus, and it wasn't working with a crap. But one thing was I didn't have good fuel.
Yeah.
And he had some good fuel, and that made a big difference on setting the needle and setting that head.
Trying to use FAI fuel without any nitro in it or something.
Well, the diesel fuel, it's imperative that it's fresh, that it's got enough ether in it.
Yeah. Yeah, the stuff we were trying, it wasn't good ether or whatever. And he worked at the college, and the chemistry lab could actually get in ether, and he got some ether from them and made up his own fuel. And I mean, it was so much better. It was just, you know. You got to stand up for a second, Rusty.
Yeah, just for a second.
Get some weight off that.
Only my back leg until I'm up, and left leg's just for balance, and then yeah, drag it forward, and with all of my weight on my arms, I move my right foot forward to take that step to push me this way.
Oh, okay.
Start all over again.
How long can you set before you got to move? 15, 20 minutes or?
No, not necessarily. If I'm comfortable, I can sit for a pretty good while.
Oh, okay.
I just had to get up and get something.
Oh, all right. So this is the big, what, like the Nats or whatever, the big contest for the year next weekend?
Oh no, it's just a regional contest for Auckland. Our Nats contest the start of January, so it's sort of a prelude to that. So
hey Steve, Rusty just walked away, so you're gonna have to wait for him to get back to let you in.
Oh, is that Steve McBride?
Yeah, but it's okay.
I'll be right back, Steve.
Yeah, it's okay, Rusty. Take your time.
Okay.
We'll look at Steve in the dark.
Well, one night I somehow neglected to turn Bob Hunt on, and we had a whole conversation where we could see him, we could see his dark thumbnail, but when he talked, it would get big and stay dark. But YouTube didn't even have sound on it, so like those spammers that come in,
yeah,
they'll never know anything ever happened. You can't. They can't tell that Bob was there that night at all. Okay, Steve McBride, there you are. Hang on just a second. And
Steve could be one of them spammers, and he just puts a mask on so we don't know it's him.
Hi, Steve.
There you are.
Hello. Oh. So what's new tonight? Anything?
Nothing new tonight.
Nothing new?
Nothing new.
You get your ESC ordered or?
No, I haven't ordered it yet. I'm gonna make them a Christmas present or something like that. Yeah, I haven't ordered it. Yeah, the electric stuff I just fool around with and so forth. I'm not serious with it. So I'll get around to it as I find out, because I'm getting confused with it. I looked on. Well, you were telling me certain size motors and stuff like that, but you can look on Hobby King and Hobby Parts, and they have that same size motor, but totally, the price is totally different in comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a Turnigy motor.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're any good or not.
They were good. If you get into on Hobby Parts, not Hobby King, but Hobby Parts, they carry Bigfoot. And the Bigfoot 15 and the 25, they weigh the same. they just wind them different. But we've had good luck with both of them. But I think I like that 25. They call it a little better. But it's a good motor, and you know, it takes a crash just as good as any of the other ones I've punched into the ground.
Didn't we discuss in here one night that all these electric motors are made by the same company? Or is that?
I mean, is it the same when when you told me a 2810? You get a 2810 from any other place. Is it 2810 and 2810 no matter what the motor is?
Yeah, the one that Brodeck sells is a 2820
Right.
/07, and that has something to do with the windings, and I guess it gives it, you know, that's what it makes the KV at. So this one is 720.
That's what I found on there with them. With the
970.
They had with Hobby King, they had a 2820, but it was I gotta look at it, man. It was a 12 or a 14, and I didn't know if that meant anything different.
I think it's the KV of the motor. With a 4-cell on a 40, you want the 900s.
900s.
Is he? Hold on just a minute.
Did they say you'll be able to fly at some point, Rusty, or you'll be able to walk confidently to be able to fly?
Depends on my balance. We'll see how that
How you feeling, Rusty? How'd you make out?
works out. But, yeah, if I can keep from accidentally planting too much weight and messing up the joint while it's healing, then when it comes back, I'm hoping my balance will be good. But you know, that has a lot to do with my neck, because the cervical vertebra in there are all misaligned, and so it may not be as perfect as it could be, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I guess that's not anything I can do anything about either, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Hell, if I, you know, got back and could fly and just do freestyle stunt like I do with my half A's, I just have to settle for that instead of competition precision aerobatics, which I'd really love to be able to do that, but it's just wait, see, and hope for me. So,
Rusty, you said you had a hip replacement.
yeah, my left hip, the whole joint, femur, ball, and socket.
The whole
and all.
titanium type deal, the whole mechanics.
And you know what he said? He said that when he cut all that old bone off of there, that none of the fractures that had happened last year, none of it had healed.
That was all right. So it was just holding together because of the bolts. It wasn't really.
Now you
That's
had
right.
you
The bolts were taking all of the force.
That right? What type of operation did you go? What type of operation did you go through when you went to get the hip replacement?
This most recent one was the full replacement, where they replaced the whole ball at the end of the neck of the femur, including the neck of the femur, which drops down about that deep into the femur. They bore a conical hole out of the center of the femur and then just pound it down in there. And then somehow they mount a titanium socket over on the other side that the ball rests in. And the first time I got it fixed, they didn't replace any of that stuff. He just put a couple of screws and a clamp plate to hold it all together. Hopefully, so when the bone healed, it would all be kind of fused as one piece. But the bone was not up to healing, and so when the screws gave out, it just came apart on me.
Yeah, you had bone against bone rubbing then, and then it fuse itself together and not move.
Right.
5-minute pain in the neck trying to get up, getting out of the chair, up and down out of bed, and out of bed. That'd be painful.
I had gone for, a few weeks from not needing the cane or the walker at all to getting more and more painful. And then one Wednesday morning, I got out of bed and I could not take a step. I was not capable of walking, and it was just like back before everything was done the first time. Oh, we got Tom Creasy coming in. Let me.
Now, what they made? They made for you. They made 2 cuts or something when they did that. To get in there.
For the new one.
Yeah.
Let me see. Well, hang on while I get Tom in. All right, Tom, you're in. Yeah, they cut the whole neck of the femur off, and the new part included the ball and the neck of the femur, which is under the ball, and it's got a conical part on it that is the bearer, and it bears all the load. So they bore a hole down into the femur and just insert the new ball tube and spike, and so it blends together just like bone and metal. And sometimes they use a type of glue, and sometimes they don't. It's better if they don't have to, especially if you get an infection with the adhesive in there. Then it's extremely hard to ever get rid of the infection, and that's pretty much an end of life type situation there. And so they got it in without adhesive, and I just have to go for a certain amount of time without putting enough weight on it to deform the cohesion between the two parts, the ball socket and the spike and the femur. And if I can get through that period of time and let all of that firm up, then I'll pretty much be good as new.
What they send you after the operation? They send you to a rehab center or something like that.
They're coming to me at my house.
Alana just texted me got everything for McDonald's. I was like, yeah, I'll take a sweet tea. I tried to drink all mine.
Hey, Tommy boy.
How you doing?
Good to hear that, Rusty. Good to hear it all worked out.
What are you doing, Steve?
Oh, not a damn thing. Trying to stay warm.
I tell you what, I had a hell of a day, dude. A hell of a night, really. A hell of a 24 hours. Our electricity went on and off about every 9 minutes.
Hey,
Yeah. Woke up this morning, had 11.5 inches of snow.
holy cow. We only got about 6 here.
4 hours of snow blowing.
You can have that.
I don't want it. I'll give it to you. Where you live, I'll mail it to you.
I don't need it no more. I moved far away from it.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Happiest day I think we had was when we sold that snowblower.
What's all that squealing and stuff going on in the background?
That's that little dog. I can mute that. Attacking Samantha.
Oh, I was going to say the dog speaks English. Hi, Samantha.
Move to Vegas. Move to Las Vegas. There's no snow here.
Yeah, I wish I was back in Vegas.
They got some serious snow going on in other places. Tom Creasy, you said it was snowing 4 inches an hour yesterday, didn't you?
At 2 inches an hour.
Oh, Indy.
2 inches an hour.
Hey, puppy. Hey, Samantha.
Hi. Wow, you say hi to the dog before me. Yeah.
The dog's
How's
nicer than you.
school? How's school, Sammy?
I didn't drop out yet.
That's good.
I mean, I'm doing good on my class, and my lowest is a B plus. But like, I don't like college.
No.
Is your high school boyfriend going to the same college you're going to, or has he gone off somewhere else?
He goes to the same one that I do, but we're not together anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, winner.
Oh. No, I went and got my other eyes, Steve. This other one says a 35-48, which means nothing to me. And then underneath it, it says 28-26. So it depends on how you measure
Right.
the outside or the inside. So the inside of this one is a 28. And I guess the inside of this one is a 28. And the length on this is 20. And this other one's 26. But this is a 970 kV. This is 950.
Yeah, David Phelps was just asking about those numbers too, trying to figure out what they meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what they meant. I mean, you look at, I've seen so many different motors, and you can find them. Like I said, Broder's got their motors, so forth. They bought the E-Flight motors, which I had, which was $75 motors. But then I looked at hobby parts, and how could they have them so and so forth? How could they have them so cheap? They want like $20 for them.
Well, I know this one is a triple ball bearing motor. And it was made in the same factory as, oh shit, it's a real famous one that the RC guys fly. I guess there's like 3 factories, so I'm not 100% sure, and I think a lot of it is how many they buy. You know, Brodak buys so many motors to where Hobby King buys 50,000 or whatever.
Right.
So I think that's a lot of it.
On how they rate their costs, and possibly, yeah. Yeah, well, I was just curious. Did it mean do those numbers mean anything to that point? Because you can match it up, and if it's the same, and if that means the same, then so be it. I'll shop around to what's going to work, just to experiment with.
That new motor from Brodak here that says Brodak on it. I guess last year at Toledo, they had one that was all cut apart and showed everything. And I guess it was pretty impressive on how well it was made. And
Okay.
so, you know, it's more money than ones at Hobby Parts. Is it better? I don't know. It's like the other ones I had, I punched them in the dirt, you know, and bent the shaft and stuff like that. To where
I found the one already in the dirt, and we got caliche out here. That's like hitting it right in the concrete as it is.
yeah, you know, but you fly well enough, you ain't gonna crash, so it's probably more advantageous to you to buy something that lasts, that's a little better.
It's gonna work.
Right. So yeah, you know, I get an airplane that gets 10 flights on it, and I stick it in the dirt, mess stuff all up, and
I'm not doing that to it. No, I'm not doing that to it. Not having that happening. But just curious to experimental reasons for it.
yeah,
I'm trying to find something that's going to give me that efficiency of power, but also be lighter in weight. That's what I'm more or less finding. I got to find a way to save weight.
yeah.
Well, it sounds from what I can reckon, what you're saying is if you're a newcomer to it, then just buy the cheapest Hobby King motor and put it on it. And if you wreck it, you wreck it. But if it's a more expensive motor, you might be able to buy a new shaft for it, or it might be worth trying to repair.
Well, the E-Flight, you can take the E-Flight motor, you can take that all apart. You can take the shaft out of it, the bearings out of it, and so forth. But if you hit it hard enough, you dent the casing, then it's good as trash.
A lot of guys use the E-Flight, but we ended up having a couple of them, and the bearings went out real fast.
Oh, that's what they say though. Where I haven't had an issue with them yet, but I don't fly with them consistently enough to say so I haven't had to experimented to have an issue with it. But I did hear that you will wear out the bearing.
But Samantha's airplane on the one she's got that triple bearing set up, but hers is firewall mounted. The rest of them we started front mounting, and then we didn't have the problem with bearings, and that's what they said with the E-flite. If you front mount it, you got a lot less problems. So I don't know. Hey, you got the fuselage all done, huh?
It's my buck.
Oh,
That's one other thing is it's rear mount.
Pardon?
yeah. So if it's a rear mount, I think you might want to go with like that Brodak, the black one.
Right. That
And,
one. Looks like
Because if that's got the double bearing in the back, that'll keep that from wearing out.
Fine, yeah. I'm not worried about pounding it into the dirt. I'm worried about efficiency and ain't getting it lighter.
Yeah, like I said, you buy this, you got the Cuban timer, and this that Hornet ESC from Brodak, that's
Right.
to work with the Huber timer.
Okay.
All set up for it on, I don't know what.
It's got the 3 poles. It's got the BEC to it.
Yeah, it's got, I don't know, everything that's needed on it. But I know there's different timings and all that kind of stuff, but that's set up for the human timer. That motor would probably be a really easy setup for something that'll run well. I mean, Dennis does a good job with that. He really, has done a lot of experimenting with that and having it work. I mean, it was flawless for Samantha.
Yeah, I'm gonna find something for it. I'll look into it further. I'm gonna find something and have it ready by Christmas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is your big flying time there.
Oh yeah. Dude, this is I love it this time of year. Now October, November, December, January, February, March. I love flying this time of year. All of a sudden, I just got the winds to work with, so you learn how to wind fly more. But when you like to fly in July, I don't. It's 100 teens out here, 110, 115 degrees.
Oh, you're making up your own mold box, huh?
Yeah, so I can mold my skins. Make it be a lot lighter. So I thought, well, I've got 2 different wings. So I'm like, actually got 3 wings really I could use. But well, hell, I might as well just do this. And
Now I thought you're supposed to, when you glue that foam on there, I thought you're supposed to put your stations in for your formers.
like that one.
Oh, you cut them afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you did them before and then sanded them. So you put your stations in afterwards. Then.
I don't have any. I basically just going by looks. I really don't have a basic plan on any type of airfoil. I just kind of. I know I like my rear turtle deck. I know I like it tall and skinny at the top.
Oh, okay.
I don't like a round, So I was like, well, I just kept sanding until I liked it, and I put a bunch of lines on it. I've used straight edges and stuff to keep all the sides and the top and everything straight edged everything. So hell, I've been whittling and sanding on that thing. Every time I pick it up, I start sanding on it again.
Okay.
I see like an area that needs a little work, just takes very little sanding.
Yeah.
You don't want to sand hard. And then I used this stuff.
Oh, polyacrylic to go over it.
Yeah. I like it, but it's not as tight. It's not as hard as like a tight bond or an epoxy. But I sanded it without messing it up.
Well, that's good.
No, now I'm sitting here on the bottom block. It kind of got me a kind of a guessing thing here.
Kind of what you think it might want to look like at the beginning, huh?
Yep. Yep. I take a look at it and then I'll just start whittling away. This foam that I have right here, it really sucks. It's not really good foam.
What an ambitious project you've got there anyway, doing a molded fuselage.
Yeah. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, I was following Sparky's new build, and he sort of went back to straight fuselage sides just for speed. I think he was going to do all molded round fuselage, but it does take a lot of extra thought, I suppose, and extra time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for David Phelps, yeah, the timer is what sets the flight time.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out how to answer that. Thanks, Steve. That's why it's good to have other people watching the YouTube feed too.
Well, what it is that I keep doing something and this thing disappears, but at least you taught me how to go in and get it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's hiding around down in there. If you hover over the taskbar, it'll pop right up.
yeah, I just realized that if I went back down to the bottom, I could get it to pop back up.
Yeah.
I kept reopening it. I probably have it opened 3 times now. But you know, I learned a lot tonight. I'll probably forget it all by the next time, but I've learned a lot tonight.
What the hell did you learn tonight?
I just make our picture window narrow enough so that I can put that in next to it, and that way if I click on one or the other, it doesn't cover it up.
Yeah, exactly.
We got whistling going on. That must be tea time.
I have no idea. What I learned tonight, Tom, was how to bring up the chat out of YouTube.
Oh. Wow, man, you're big timing.
I guess.
You're big timing now, bro.
Yeah, Steve's
Friday,
my co-moderator now.
Friday, since Rusty wasn't on, I didn't know how to. People are on YouTube watching, but I didn't know how to answer it. You know, see what they were asking or anything. So I talked to him Saturday, and he said he'd kind of walk me through how to get that up. You know, just in case he gets sick of us again and takes a weekend off or whatever.
Yeah, bail out, and I know old Steve will be out there watching out for me.
Yeah, at least I can bring that up and kind of help out a little bit. But
now, if you notice when Charles Carter comes on, he's got a little a blue hammer icon or something like that next to his name and avatar, and that means Sparky's made him a moderator. So I think he's got more controls. He might be able to work the anti-troll controls and stuff. I'm not sure what.
oh, okay.
Yeah, them rude ass people.
Yeah, Charles hasn't been on here in a bit.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's the same thing there, is that this is flying the
I
best
can't
flying
believe you
one.
ain't been on. I've been on every night.
Yeah,
I don't know
this
how
is
long.
flying season.
The weather doesn't really change for Charles, does it?
No, we fly all year round out here. We fly all year round. It's just summertime is the hottest time you're gonna see.
Right, that's when you get all the winds and all that. In the wintertime, the winds knock down and
Yeah, it's not bad now.
yeah.
But
Oh, you got, hey, Tom, you got one of them new markers from Milwaukee, huh?
Oh yeah, man, I got it. Picked it up at Spoon River Days, man.
Aren't they nice?
Bought two of them for $1.
Them things are great. I like them. It's like the tips are stronger or something.
Yeah, they are. This one here, I've used it so much. I used it at, fabricating out in the garage. I wish I would have kept one here and get the point sharper. I'm gonna mute this for a minute so I can do some band sawing.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a tip. You guys use Sharpies, the new I really like the new Milwaukee felt tip markers. They work real good.
Yeah, I think I got a box of those. They draw a real clean, fine line.
If the tips don't go away quite as fast,
Yeah.
Well, because we use them for work and we're always writing on steel pipe and all that kind of stuff, and they tend to.
Yeah, that rubs them up pretty bad.
Yeah, because Sharpies really, they made the real wide one that was tough. It was thinner and wider.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen them around for a while, but they started getting these, and I really like these Milwaukee ones now. They're real fine line, and they tend to last pretty good. But
yeah, thank goodness for Sharpies, man. That's one of the best marking instruments that's come out for our hobby careers.
Just let everybody know that yellow and orange dope does not cover Sharpie marker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Be careful, yeah.
I don't know about silk span and dope, but if I write something or draw something on my monocoat wing with a permanent Sharpie, then it doesn't matter. It'll come right off with alcohol, or if it stays on too long and still leaves a shadow, then acetone will take it right off.
David Phelps said it's called the Milwaukee Ironhead.
Ironhead, yeah.
I thought that's a reference to the Harley Davidson Ironhead. But boring from the name, I suppose.
But yeah, you can't use Sharpie on balsa. You can, but you better be using a darker color.
It soaks in, yeah. It spreads out too.
I like to use a soft grade pencil, like a drawing pencil, a 2B or 4B pencil, and that way you can rub it off with the rubber and remove all your evidence. Ready to finish it.
I bought a pack of pencils for judging, and they're mechanical because I drop stuff so much that I figured I needed more than one. And I think these are little 7mm Comfort Mate Ultras. I think it's a Paper Mate, but it's a good pen, and it's good for me because it's got the big fat rubber grip on it, and I got to have that or the pen slips between my fingers, which don't hold it in my writing position. I don't have the dexterity that I used to there, and 0.7mm is enough. And I also like but these feel like ballpoint pens at first. You can click them in and click them out like that, but these erasers take off the lead a lot cleaner than regular old wooden pencil erasers do.
Yeah, Samantha has some, pencils for art class or whatever. But they make that 7mm lead in a real soft.
Yeah.
And it's really good for the airplane stuff. She just don't let me use them.
If you try to use if you try to use any kind of lead that's harder than that, it just gouges it. You might as well use a scribe instead of a pencil in the side of your fuselage for your incidence lines and that sort of thing.
Mm. Yeah, it's amazing because when you get really soft pencil, it'll write on steel and it'll write on plastic. It's almost wax like. It'll stick. But that's where when I'm welding, I'll often use the kids' chalk because it'll stay there as you put the heat on it. You've still got your chalk there.
Would you have an earthquake there, Tom?
Mhm.
That stuff falling all over the place.
Yeah.
David Phelps says his wife drives an '85 Ironhead.
Scooter.
Yeah, scooter. Yeah, if that's the 85 cc's, I'd say that's a scooter.
It'll be 85 cubic inches. I think is what he's referring to. Yeah, 85 cubic inch Ironhead. Yeah, I think after the Ironhead came the Evo engine. But yeah, if we had Sparky on, he could tell us all the displacements and all the different ones.
Mike,
Yeah, I don't see Sparky tonight. I think he said he wasn't going to be on because I called him last night. Friday. I didn't even think about the show. I just got home pretty late Friday night anyway, and it was way down my list of things to think about, and in my drugged state, y'all probably wouldn't have wanted me hanging around too much anyway.
well, Tom's on all the time in his drug state, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're used to him though. I was laughing to myself thinking about his old water heater.
Yeah, I know it. Well, test colors on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have you a little bit of space where you can have those liberties, isn't it? But yeah, the kids get to go on the fridge with the whiteboard markers and start drawing all over the fridge with whiteboard markers. But occasionally they'll pick up a permanent marker and then start scrawling all over the fridge.
Is it stainless steel or is it white?
It's a white fridge, but my wife let them do it to get their spelling when they were very young, and she'd always get them whiteboard markers and get them drawing on the fridge.
Yeah.
And so it became the permanent fixture for the kids to play with. And so occasionally, though, it's a permanent marker, and then you have a hell of a time trying to remove just the tinge that it's left behind.
Yeah.
Time for some of that Rust-Oleum appliance enamel.
Mm.
I don't know how that stuff works, if it's any good or not, if it'll make a nice, clean, professional looking paint job.
It probably would.
I bet it would.
If you scuff it all up good, and then.
Best thing to do with the Rusto is to get one of the snap-on caps where you can hold it like it's got a squeeze trigger. And I always have to cut a block and make a shim to go between the push button on the head and the masher inside the handle, because no two brands are ever alike. But that's all right. I just make a masher every time I paint something, depending on what it fits.
I was gonna say, Tom, one thing about it is if you don't like that one, you could make that into like a trout, hang it on the wall.
When I was gone all week, nobody used the hot water in the front bathroom very much, and so I was in there getting ready to brush my teeth the other afternoon, and the water came out. I just turned the hot water on by itself, and it came out brown, and it was 3 or 4 minutes before it cleared it up. So I need to go outside and turn on that spigot and let the bottom of it blow out.
You got galvanized pipe in there for your water. You got copper.
You tell me. The house is 48 years old. No, the house is 70 years old.
Yeah, it's probably got galvanized someplace in it left, and it's sitting there. It'll pick that up. Yeah, I used to have that at the second house I bought. It had we ended up replacing all the copper we could see, but places in the wall it still would have a little piece of galvanized here or there, and if it's set for a while, You know, when you first come on, it would give out a little bit of that brown color.
If you were going to replace the water heater in a 70-year-old house that probably had the original plumbing, what kind of water heater would you get for it?
Myself, I like Bradford Whites.
Gas or electric?
What's that?
Gas or electric?
Yeah, gas or electric.
Oh, it's gas.
I like Bradford Whites myself, but the factory is only 20 miles from the shop.
Our factory is in a little town called McBee, South Carolina, and they make a brand that's well known. I can't remember it now, though.
You might be talking about Ream.
Nah, it's not.
Yeah, you got Ream, you got State, you got
State's okay.
that comes out of Tennessee. It's
State's okay. Bradford Whites are pretty good. The Reams, the electrics, they suck.
the electrics suck.
The Ream electrics.
Yeah, let me look it up and see what kind of water heaters they make up there. That's where all our peach.
The elements ain't that great on the electric ones. The elements are not that great on them.
Oh, I know. It's A.O. Smith.
A.O. Smith. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a
A.O.
good.
Smith is part of Lochinvar and State, I believe.
And State, right?
Yeah,
A.O. Smith is part of
most
State.
all the places all got bought out.
Yeah.
A.O. Smith, you got a good tank.
Oh, I was talking to about that with my friend Gary, who does the same type stuff you do. He's retired, Steve, and he worked for. Started out it was Train, and for the longest time it was Train, but they're finally bought out by that big company.
American Standard.
Yep.
Yeah, they got bought out by American Standard. American Boiler and Standard Plumbing.
What's another big name that goes with their equipment? I can't think.
Train?
Nah, I can't think of what he's calling it, but shit, I don't know, and it doesn't matter either. I was just curious.
I'm not. They probably have their vendor line, but for the franchise deals or whatever you want to call them, that's either Train or American Standard.
Yeah,
Exactly the same.
I almost said it and then lost it again.
The train. When you buy the Train name and you get in that package, you get the better warranty on that package.
Yeah, you pay for it.
Yeah, you pay for it. You're paying for it, and you get the extra. You get the better warranty with it.
Yeah. Ingersoll Rand. Does that ring a bell? Ingersoll Rand. That's who Gary's
American Standard may have bought out Ingersoll Rand.
Maybe so. He tried to tell me about all that, and it got so complicated, my eyes just glazed over. So
that's Carrier owns Carrier, Bryant, Payne, Day and Night, Comfort Maker.
Yep.
When he logs on to his home,
why don't you go to you're talking about AC?
On to Ingersoll Rand.
See, the best guy that's got the AC, if you're talking about AC units right now, the best guy that's running the deal right now is Maytag's running the unit with a 12-year warranty on it. And if the compressor goes on it, they give you a whole brand new unit.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who owns Maytag. There's Maytag, Frigidaire.
Right.
I know one thing. I bought a Maytag refrigerator, and it was the worst piece of shit I ever bought in my life.
Well, I'm talking about your AC unit. Maytag's selling AC units now with a 12-year warranty on them. if the compressors go on and within that period of time, they just give you a brand new unit. Don't even bother fixing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disposable.
Yeah, they just give you a whole new unit. So it's a pretty, and they got them on sale. They're a pretty decent deal.
Yeah, I forget who owns that. They license the name Maytag for that. They also license the name Frigidaire.
Right. Well, the other one that comes out, which is the more inexpensive one, the more economical unit, was the Goodman unit.
I believe them are ADPs, American something or other, is who makes that, and I forget what ADP stands for. But
A dumb person.
pardon me.
A dumb person.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, most of all. Now Train, I think, bought out Duquesne also, so I think a Duquesne is same as is owned by Train, and
It was
I thought Frigidaire was owned by GM originally, and that's why you had Frigidaire air conditioning guffing their cars, going back a long, long way. But
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that.
yeah, well, and somehow they owned White. Was it White Consolidated? Then it became Frigidaire, and then Electrolux bought that. They own the name Frigidaire and stuff, but
Electrolux went out completely.
now they're still made. They still make vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. And
Yeah, everything that they do now is franchised.
yeah, that's
Well,
where it gets
they
confusing.
moved their factories.
Everything. No, they still have in Bristol, Virginia. They still have their manufacturing plant, their factory out there. But everything they distribute now is all franchised. They got rid of the whole corporate policy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think who they own for other appliances, but who made their stoves? You know, who
Well,
made
no
their,
ADP, right?
you know, I'm not sure. All them corporations are just bought and sold, and they sell off names and buy names and stuff like that. There's only like 4 places that make refrigeration stuff. You know.
Yep. Yeah, that's what happens with so many of the big corporates. Like the tractors are all made by 4 main corporates as well now. They've all been amalgamated and bought up, and yeah, you just end up with these huge, large corporates, and they just trade under so many different names. It gets confusing, but you know, it's just the way of the world now.
Yeah, Will Davis builds Daimler trucks, but I don't think you'll see the name Daimler badged on any of them.
Voila. What do you think?
There you go.
Looking nice.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me click you up, Tom. Just a second.
That didn't take too long to make, did it?
Yeah.
They're pretty straight, pretty rounded. It looks pretty damn good.
Yeah. I don't think you got to turn it into a trout.
Okay. Well, what was it? Someone commented on one of my friends the other day. It looked like a flute. That was the fuselage, the top. He goes, man, it looks like you got a flute there. Well, okay. So I guess it's already taken names.
Sparky somehow molds his canopy into the top block.
Uh-oh, now you got me going.
Yeah.
We might bust out into airplane talk any minute here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, ADP was Advanced Distributor Products.
Oh, okay.
Well, guess what, guys? Glad to see me. I got to get going.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, maybe if Sparky gets on Friday, Tom, he can let you know how he does his canopy, but that's pretty cool. He doesn't have to.
Me and him. Oh, yesterday I went to Stunthangar, went at the bench and posted a link because I got a Hangout too link, you know.
Yeah.
And I invited him because I knew he's probably sitting in his hotel, and I knew he's building planes. So yeah, me and him sat there. He was yeah, he's doing some new things too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the deal with the canopy. It's all done right in the mold, and you're done with it. You know, like wow, and it's perfect,
Well,
no carbon.
it's not too late for me to add that either.
Mm-mm.
what did you do, Tom? Just copy an old link from a Hangout show and post that for people to click on?
An old link post what?
A link to start a video chat. Any of our old links, I think you can use for that.
Oh yeah, mine. I got my link like probably about 3 months when we first started doing this. We started doing this what 3 years ago, back in August
Yeah.
when we first started. And me, I could get it, but I couldn't get on because I had a crappy laptop. And I finally got on for the first time, and it was through my phone.
Yeah, that was the same thing with me. I could never get on with my old PC.
Oh, that's right. We used to just talk to the top of your head.
Or the ceiling. I just lay my damn phone down and talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The good old days.
Yeah, really.
Now it's like we're in each other's living rooms now.
Yeah.
Well, that was a job.
What all did y'all do while I was gone? I saw that there was a show last Wednesday, the day I went into the hospital. And then y'all did one Friday too, right?
No, we just
Yeah, I think Sparky did. I couldn't make either one of them.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Sparky did on Friday.
I didn't know nothing about the Wednesday one.
anytime I go and and I want to build, usually like weekend mornings, I've got a couple friends that always join me. We always just sit here. Half the time we don't even talk. We just build.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And I'll post a link on Stunthangar for them guys to grab on YouTube because I can't remember their stupid email or I'd invite them. But anyway, sometime check Stunthangar at the bench and you might see me there. You know, hey, you want to hang out? It's not going to be recorded.
Yeah.
Sure, you'll record it secretly and then blackmail us.
No, just you, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got to have keys to the castle in order to broadcast and record it.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get off too. It's almost 11:30, and I got a
big day tomorrow.
snow again.
I spent 4 hours with a snowblower and cleaning off 3 vehicles. And my wife, it was so bad that they didn't run mail. The mail trucks didn't make it out of Peoria, Illinois.
I thought the mail always ran, whether sleet nor snow nor gloom of night.
Nope.
That
As I
was
told my
back
wife,
when it was on horseback.
yeah, that was horseback. That was back in the
I'll
day.
tell you,
But I told my wife, I said, "There's no way you're risking your life or risking, something bad happening just to deliver in an envelope. I ain't gonna take it. I wouldn't let her go today." But last night they called and everything and said that we'll have to wait in the morning. We was up at 5 in the morning, them calling us saying, "Yeah, no mail." Can't even get the trucks out.
Yeah.
How many inches you got?
What's that?
How many inches you get?
11 and a half.
Yeah, we only got we got half of that, about 6.
Yeah.
And they called all the schools and stuff like that yesterday. Well, today, I guess, is almost yesterday. But now we're supposed to start into the lake effect, which Tom won't get.
Dude, we had 50-mile-an-hour winds last night.
Oh, yeah, same here. All day today, too.
Trees blown down. The longest time our electricity, this is no shit, stayed on. The longest time was 9 minutes, and it would go off and then come back on. And it did that from 6 o'clock at night all the way to 1 in the morning.
If I had that problem, I'd get a UPS for the computer.
Oh, well, my computer's battery operated, so all I have to do is just unhook the computer. But I was worried about my refrigerator, the compressor cycling on and off. My furnace would go on, and then it'd go off. And then I had to stay up all night, and I'd have to walk out around the side of the house and clear the snow away from the exhaust vent, so the furnace would stay running.
I hate to tell you how to deal with that because I know you want to keep things functional.
Well,
you
I was a tow truck crash and recovery for 17 years, so I didn't do any heavy stuff. All I did was 2-ton and under. But I've been out in this blizzard, and the worst one that from last night was back in 1978 here in this same area. That was the last time I've ever seen it that bad like it was last night.
You're having your power cycle like that, though. Shut your major appliances down. Because
I shut my furnace off, or I mean not my furnace, but my refrigerator off, and then set a timer for an hour so I wouldn't forget that it was off. And then I turn it back on, and try to get some cool before, at least have 9 minutes of power. Sometimes I got lucky and we got up to 20 minutes before it went out.
Yeah, I've never seen anything better than 78, Tom, here. I mean, when I was a kid there and the neighbor had to come over and dig out our door so we could open the door, we had damn 6-7 foot snow drifts.
Well,
in the driveway. It just covered the whole side of the house. You couldn't see out of the windows.
We
it
didn't,
was horrible.
in this area back in 78, we didn't have quite that much, but it was over a foot, and between a foot to 18 inches, and it was a blizzard whiteout condition.
Yeah, I think we got almost 2 foot with that storm, and I mean, cars were buried down the expressway.
Yeah,
I've never seen any kind
trucks
of
were hitting
snow
them,
like
and
that.
well, out here in the rural area didn't even get plowed out today.
holy cow!
And that was all the farmers, where in between the fields are all harvest. It's just flat land, 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing snow wherever it wants, wherever the wind direction. Man, some of them drifts got up 11, 12 feet high.
Yeah.
And then you look at the field and it's bare. There's no snow.
They move around wherever the wind blows them.
Oh yeah, they actually make some pretty cool designs. You ever take a 2-ton truck and you're running 55 miles an hour and you run through a 10-foot snowdrift?
Yeah.
No, but I
Scary,
tried
man,
to
because
put a rooster tail on the side of a snowplow one time.
you can't see. You can't see for the longest time.
Yeah. So I decided to roll the window down and stick my head out, and all of a sudden I realized that the whole car was full of snow up to my shoulders from the front seat to the back seat.
Huh.
I felt pretty stupid. I bet them snowplow guys got back drinking their coffee and talking about that and getting a big kick out of it. Should have seen this dumbass that tried to pass me in a Ford Escort. And,
Yeah,
driving in a ruts like a train on tracks at about 70 miles an hour, and came up behind him chugging along at 25, blowing a big plume out the side. And I said, fuck this. I want to go 70 again. And so I tried to pass him, and when I realized it was going to cover my windshield, I rolled the window down and stuck my head out, and the whole interior of the car filled up with snow faster than I could even.
What the hell did you roll down the window for?
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, y'all, you have a good one. Hopefully, hope I see you Friday.
All
All
right.
right, sounds good.
See you guys.
See you later, guys.
Good
See you
night.
Friday.
Well, good night, Steve. Good night, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll get off and go and do the dinner and tidy up. So, yeah, good night, Rusty, and good to see you back in the chair.
All right, good night. Yeah, we're gonna make this one work. So, thanks for coming on the show and getting us kick started again. I'm calling it the New Year. This is Rusty's New Year. So, we'll
Sounds really good.
good one. All right, folks.
Okay, good night.
Good
All right.
night.
Right.
Hey, Rusty, how do you get the group chat thing to keep on working so when you're on this thing here, you can see what everybody else writes on the side? I got the thing that says group chat. It tells me who enters, who leaves, but not what they write.
Oh, that's the little button. If you hover over on the video chat window, right next to where it says Google, and click that blue button, and it shows you the list. Right now, it shows you with who's come and gone, and it shows Stephen McBride with a star/question mark.
Okay, yeah. So nobody else wrote anything else other than that, and then everybody
No,
else.
that's all. That's all. Now on YouTube, the chat box is full of stuff from David Phelps, Gerald Wimmer, Jack Snavely, and a bunch of those guys. And there were some other Minnesota. Mike was on. Terry.
We can't see that on this here.
No, you got to go to the YouTube watch page to see that.
Yeah, but then the two they conflict with each other.
No, they don't. You just stop the feed on the YouTube watch page and mute it, and it's quiet and dark, but the chat box still works.
Oh,
And if you click the three dots at the top right of the chat box, you'll see a little option that pops up that says pop out chat. When you click that, the
right.
chat box pops out completely. You can minimize all that other crap because it doesn't mean anything now. And just reshape the chat box into a 2.5 inch wide column as tall as the screen, and then narrow our video chat window enough and just park them side by side.
Side by side. Okay, so you can put the YouTube next to it side by side.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
That way
just mute it out so it don't echo itself out.
Yeah. If you lose one of them and can't find it, just hover down there around Chrome on the taskbar, and you'll see what you've lost, and you can pop it back up from there.
Okay, we'll give that a check. Shot next time.
It's good when other people are watching because they'll catch stuff I miss, or I'm sitting here and either don't know the answer or try to figure out what to say, and somebody else will jump in and take care of it for me.
Okay.
That's also where you can tell if trolls are starting to come in, because sometimes you'll see one that calls himself "I am God" or something like that, and you got trolls online. I'm not sure that non-moderators can see that, but still, it's still a help for y'all to be able to see what's going on the tube.
Okay, sounds good. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad your health is good. I'm glad your operation went well.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad too. And I get worn out and feel so tired and sore. I'm thinking, is this ever going to end? And then get some rest, and I'm back to normal, and just got to be careful with it, not overpressure it, and it should heal.
I was asking you questions about your operation and what type of operation you had, because my father had to go through that a few years back. He had a hip replacement, and he went through that whole operation deal.
Yeah, they've come a long way now. They've got a whole patient education program now that makes sure we know exactly what's going on and why. and explains the kind of helpful equipment that we can get to use for dressing and doing other things. And if you follow, if you read up on that, follow what the doctor says, I think the success rate is extremely high. And be clean, wash your hands all the time, avoid people that are sick. Needless to say, it pisses me off when people come around me that know they're sick and know I don't know it, you know. So
Yeah, absolutely. And they have no remorse on how they just sneeze and cough all over you or
yeah,
everything else. Then they don't care.
yeah, or pick up something that they know you're going to be using. One of the guys out at the airfield one day was standing talking to me and putting his hand, resting his hand on the handle of my walker. It was back when I could walk away from the thing a little bit, and I come back and realize, man, this guy's coughing like shit. He's coughing and hacking and spitting, and he's got his hands on my damn walker
You gotta
handle.
grab it again, you know. Well, that's because people have no respect. They don't care about shit.
I carry a bunch of that hand cleaner alcohol.
Hand cleaner, hand wipes is a good thing. Yeah, the disinfectant hand wipes. Keep that.
Not only wash my hands with it, but I'll rub it all over stuff that I'm going to handle.
I mean, they have that now in the supermarkets too. Even when you go to get a shopping cart.
Yeah.
As soon as you get a shopping cart, you can wipe the cart handle down.
Yeah. The ones that have been sitting out in the sun, especially in the summertime, are usually pretty safe because the sun kills bacteria pretty quick.
Yeah, it beats it up. Those are pretty better. Yeah, they get beat up pretty good with the heat.
So I'm looking for a short winter and a early spring, and ready for that to happen anytime now.
Okay. I wish you the best, and I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, man.
Monday, Friday.
Yeah, that's right. Friday. Today is Monday.
It is Monday.
Yeah, I barely know what day it is. I'm still kind of drugged up. I'm still taking pain medicine, so if I get a little goofy, that might explain it. Yeah.
No worries.
Thanks to all of you guys out there on YouTube too. I think we got a couple of super chat contributions tonight, so thanks for that. That's that $sign at the bottom of the chat box where you can donate to us, and that goes to me and Sparky. Oh, it goes to Sparky, and then he shaves a little off and tosses it to me, and so everybody, thanks a lot, and I guess we'll close it up for tonight, and we'll see y'all at the end of the week, and tell us about what you did to have fun during the week. All right, Steve. See you later, man.
We'll see you later.
All right, closing the broadcast. Good night.
Good night.